Hello to my senior fitters out there. Glad you could join me today. Today we're going to go over a 3-segment workout. It's really some simple exercises that you can do at home with simply a chair, and if you use a walker, you can use a walker for those. If not, that's okay. But these are simple exercises to keep your body moving, keep your muscles stretched, your main muscles, and help you to live each day a little more fully with a little more flexibility. So here we go. So the first exercise is going to be for your neck. We're going to focus on the neck. And we're going to start by keeping your nose straight and tilting on the axis until you feel a really good stretch in this portion of your neck. Hold that for 30 seconds. Okay, good job. Now come back to center, and now we're going to tilt the other way. Remember, keep your nose pointed forward. Now this time, it should be pulling from the opposite side. Okay, now back to center. Now what we're going to do is we're going to look. Let's start by looking to your left. Without moving your shoulders, just turn your head as far as you can to the left, swiveling at the neck. Hold that. Little different group of muscles that you're stretching here. Okay, now back to center and continue on to the right side. Good. Okay, so now what I want you to do is I want you to just roll your head clockwise or counterclockwise, it doesn't matter. And then we'll switch and go the other way. Okay, let's go ahead and rotate the opposite direction. Great job. All right, if you're a little dizzy, just give yourself a second to reorient. And now what I want you to do is go ahead and whatever kind of chair you're in, as long as you're in a fairly firm chair, just grab somewhere and secure your hands. And then what I want you to do, we're going to stretch our chest. So what I want you to do is push your chest out. Squeeze your scapulae together. So your shoulder blades, bring those together until you feel a good stretch across your chest. And hold that. Make sure you're breathing through all these stretches. Hold that for 30 seconds, approximately. Good job. Now relax, get your shoulders neutral again, and now what I want you to do is cross your arms, and now what I want you to do is actually decompress your scapulae. So now what you're doing is you're coming forward. So you're rounding your upper back. Okay, so you're collapsing up on your shoulders. And you can, if you can stretch this far, the farther you can get those arms crossed, the more stretch you'll have, the more complete stretch you'll have. Good job. And just feel that stretch from your scapulae. Good job. All right, get neutral again, where your shoulders are just relaxed. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to spread our feet apart a little bit so that our shoulders will fit here. And then what I want you to do is reach down like you're picking up the newspaper. And I want to make sure that your knees stay behind your toes. So it should almost be perpendicular angle. And just reach down and you'll feel your lower back muscles stretching. And hold that, make sure you're breathing. All right, slowly come back up. Very good. All right, now we're gonna shift down to the legs, and in the second segment we'll get into the hip flexor complex area. But for right now, we're gonna go to the IT bands, which are along the side of your legs. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna make sure you're sitting nice and comfortably, and you wanna get your leg up over the other one. So one leg up over the other. And I want you to pull, not at the knee, but on the thigh. I want you to pull it toward your chest, okay? And you'll feel the stretch along here. If you tilt in your chair a little bit, that's okay. I just want you to feel that stretch along here. It'll go a little bit into your glutes, but we're stretching right along here. The IT band, which runs along the side of your leg. Okay, and just keep holding that. Make sure you're breathing. Okay, now we're going to switch, do the other side. And again, we're just pulling right here across your body. You can even grab here if you want. I just don't want you putting a lot of pressure on your knee. Okay. Keep breathing. Good job. Maybe shake your legs out a little bit. I know you can get pretty stiff along here. I know I do. So next up, what we're going to do is we're going to get our legs stretched out pretty far. Maybe point your toes out a little bit. And then what we're going to do is we're going to get our elbows right in here on the insides of our legs, not on your knee, but inside. And then I want you to push outwards, stretching these muscles here, your abductors. We're going to get more into that muscle group in the second segment. And just feel that stretch. Just push out, feel that stretch. Great job. Okay, excellent job. Shake those legs out again. And now we're going to get into the hip flexor complex and your calf muscles. So segment 2 coming up. Okay, this next segment includes some further stretches that we can use with a walker, or you can use the back of a couch or a firm chair, something like that to secure yourself. But basically what we're going to do is we're going to be stretching the hip flexor complex and namely the psoas muscle. And this is to help to keep this flexibility and keep a lot of strain off your lower back. So what we're gonna do is let's start with the left foot forward and secure yourself here and bring your right leg back and keep it straight. Now, once you've gotten into a position that looks something like this, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to stretch, pushing this hip, the back leg hip, forward towards the front of the walker or the couch if you're using a couch or a chair. And you want to push that until you feel a good stretch right in here. Now, if you want to advance this or progress this stretch, you can raise your right hand and then slightly turn out, and it will stretch a little bit of a different portion more into the psoas, and that's a good way to progress this stretch. But for most, it's okay if we're just stretching that front part. So again, we're straightening the leg and we're pushing using this leg to secure your weight. Okay, now we're going to switch sides and do it the opposite direction. So now your right leg is in front to support you. Your left leg is back, all right? And you're going to push your left hip toward the front of the walker or couch or chair. And again, for a progression, now raise your left arm and slightly turn to the open edge. Okay. Excellent. All right, so now we're going to do a calf stretch, and I'll stay in this position, and we'll do both legs from this position. So basically you want to secure yourself, and again, it's kind of the same positioning, all right? So put your right foot back, and then what you want to do is kind of lean forward a little bit so that your heel is forced off the ground. You want it to naturally feel like it's up in the air. Your heel is up in the air. And then what we're going to do is we're going to push that heel down to the ground until you feel a tightness in your calves. You want to do this gradually. You don't want to do it very abruptly, because if you're really tight, it could cause some injury. So just be careful about how you do it, but you want to feel that tightness in your calf, and hold that for 30 seconds. Okay, good job. Now we're going to switch and do it with the other foot. Push that heel down to the ground. Remember, you're always breathing when you do this. Good job. Now we're ready to exercise. We've got the walker in place, or if you're not using one, that's fine too. These are simple cardio exercises. We're going to get your heart rate up. We're going to test some of that flexibility that we've been stretching you for. So let's go ahead and get started. And let's start with marching in place. Now, if you're not using a walker, or if you're confident enough, you can go ahead and act like you're walking in place and just stay right in place where you're marching. And let's do this for a little while. Get that heart rate up, get that blood flowing. All right, good job. The next part is going to be a little bit challenging for those of you who need that security of your walker, but that's okay. We're just trying to make small improvements, small bits of progress, all right? No pressure. Let's have fun with this, right? right? Make sure you're breathing regularly. Just very natural. Don't hold your breath. Great job. Try to get your knees up as high as you can. That'll help to start triggering your abdominal muscles, strengthening those, giving those some endurance. Movement is a great thing. If you take care of this body, it'll take care of you. Okay, now we're going to switch to side steps. Okay, so you can do this a lot of different ways. I'll be a little bit aggressive with it at the start, but you don't have to be. You can stand it at your walker and step this way. All right, just step right in here. The idea is we're moving the feet, we're shifting weight, right? This is about testing your balance. We call it proprioception, which is using all of the elements of your central nervous system to help you with movement, to guide your movement. This should become habitual at times. So for those of you without the walker, you can just do center, step side to side, and we're just trying to get this common motion to where it's just habitual and you can keep your balance. When you do this, try to have as good a posture as you can, okay? We're just trying to go side to side, okay? You can do it like this. Just keep moving. Good job. Excellent. Okay, the next exercise we're going to do is we're actually going to have you step to the right, then front, then back to base, and we're going to switch sides, okay? So we'll go right, and I want you to keep your weight on the leg. So you're going to have to shift your weight to your left leg so that you can raise this foot and tap the toe without shifting your weight onto that foot. I want you to maintain the balance, all your balance and weight on your left leg as you do it. So tap forward, then back to base, and then your weight shifts back to center. Okay, so here we go. Okay, now we're going to do it to the other side. Okay, so we'll start to the outside, then go front and back. All right, now on this side, right? And watch how I shift my weight. I shift it over to my right leg. I reach out, tap, back, front, and back to base. Okay, boom. Got it? Tap, tap, back. Okay, then you're balanced again, right? Shift, tap, tap, back, shift, tap, tap, back. Let's mix it up. Tap forward, tap left, tap right, okay? The more you can mix that up and do it exactly as you're choosing to do it, that's gonna help the communication through your central nervous system to start helping you figure out how to balance, how to move without getting imbalanced. So that's what we're trying to do. We're training our brain to move without thinking about it, if that makes any sense. So I'm mixing it all up now. I'm just saying, I'm going to tap left, then I'm going to tap right, tap left forward, then right forward, then back. Now let's work on lifting the legs, but let's shift the weight completely and lift the opposite leg as we come shifted, completely shifted. Now a little secret if any of you have issues with balance, one of the big keys is make sure that the weight on your feet is always at the balls of your feet, and that most of the pressure is on the inside of the feet. That keeps you from falling to the outside in your shift. All right, let's go back to marching in place. If you have the walker and you need it, feel free to hold on to that. Good job. Okay, you can do this for another about 20 seconds. And we're gonna activate the arms a little bit on this next section, arms and shoulders. Obviously, if any of you have injuries that don't allow you to raise your arm, just do the rest of the exercise. Whatever you can do, do. The main thing is that we're moving. Good job. Okay, so what we're gonna do to start is I want you to step forward and raise the opposite arm that you step forward with. So if you step forward left, right, I want your left arm. If you step forward left, I want your right arm to go up, okay? So let's do that. And as high and straight up as you can get it, controlled. Don't just toss your arm up because we don't want anyone getting injured. All right, make sure you're breathing. Make sure you have good posture. Don't arch your back, your lower back too much. Keep your back pretty much straight. Good job. This will raise your heart rate. Every time you raise your arm above your head, it will increase your heart rate. Your body has to work harder to pump blood through your extremities, through your arms. Gravity. Okay, if you want to add a little bit of hip turn, a little bit of flexibility, make your arm go across center, okay, as you do it. Feel some of that twisting. That's why we stretched before we started doing this. Okay, and one more. All right, now let's go ahead and march again in place. If you're confident enough, use your arms too. Get your knees as high as you can, or you feel comfortable and safe, right? Safety is always first. Good job. Okay, now we're gonna go back to the previous exercise, only this time I want your arms to come forward, okay? So as you step, your opposite arm comes forward and maybe a little across, just to get that flexibility going. Good. Excellent. You might feel some of this in your glutes and hips a little bit, and that's okay. We're trying to touch on as many muscle groups as we can here, but in a simplistic way. Simple exercises, and you can do these every day. You don't need me for these. You can do these by yourself. If you want to do them with me, just play this video over again and do it again. Keep moving, people. You have this amazing, magnificent metabolic machine. Just keep it moving, and it'll treat you right. All right, good job. Back to the march. All right, so now once we finish this march, we're gonna go back to the chair to do a few more exercises in the chair. enjoying. All right, good job. On to the next segment. We're back in the chair, and I hope your cardio is still going good. You feel a little bit of breathlessness. That's all good. Let's immediately get starting. Remember how we were marching? Well, now let's march while sitting. Okay, and so what you're focusing on here is raising your knees up, and if you want to keep your arms moving, you can do that. If this is uncomfortable for you and you have a hard time lifting your legs, simply secure your hands to the chair and make sure that you're sitting upright and you're bringing your knees up toward your chest. This is going to activate, of course, your abdominal muscles. It's a great exercise. So let's do that for another 15 seconds or so. Make sure you're breathing. Okay, now make sure you're sitting back as much as you can. It's best if you have more of an upright backed chair rather than something that reclines or that's too cushiony, because you'll sink and slump. But if you do, it's okay. Then sit more forward when you do these exercises. So I want you to secure somewhere on the chair, secure your hands, and then what I want you to do is I want you to bring your leg out straight, and I want you to raise it as much as you can from that position. And let's just do one leg at a time. Okay, and you'll probably feel this in your thigh and in your abdominal muscle. Okay, let's switch legs. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to start pumping your arms. Okay, pump them forward like so. 10 seconds there. Your elbows are going from your hip and then straight up to about parallel with the floor. Your forearms or your arms should be parallel with the floor. Okay, now we're going to go out to the side, out to here. You can alternate them if you'd like. Now let's bring them around. Let's start slowly, about a 20 degree at a time toward the center. All right, and then we get to the center. Now let's bring them up together and back out to the side. Good. Excellent. Go as far as you can. Okay, so now what I want you to do is I want you to do like you're doing a jumping jack. Make sure your legs are apart a little bit so you're secure in your chair. And then I want you to bring your arms up and over and touch your fingers at the top. Okay? Just like you're doing jumping jacks without the jumping part, without the lower body portion. Good. Okay, let's do about 10 more seconds of this. You should feel this in your shoulders. I do. Okay, now we're going to punch. So what I want you to do is start with, put your hands in a fist, put your elbows into your side, and then what I want you to do is punch out and forward and slightly across center. Okay? You'll feel a stretch back here in your back and your lats. Okay? Just nice and controlled. We don't have to do anything too abrupt. All right, we made it. All right, good job, y'all. I hope you enjoyed these exercises. I would like you to do these 3 times a week if possible, more, and just stay fit, keep moving that body. We gotta keep you mobile and independent, all right? Take care. From me to you, have a great day.